Hello, hello, this is JilliBling. How are you? I have one more project using shaving cream. So, this project I saw on Pinterest, the paper artist made this one. And a lot of people are using the marvelous paper. And it got me thinking, hey, remember that old technique using shaving cream? So I have this project here. And this one is similar to what the paper artist made. And then I made this one. And then I made this one. And I love the way the little banner came out. And this one I was trying to make it a little bit girly. And when making this, I'll do shaving cream here in just a minute. And I'll do the banner when we're making the card. But some of the Reinkers that you use when you're doing the shaving cream technique are a little bit bold. So I was trying to make this girly by putting a little bit of magenta in it. The first round I ended up throwing it out because a little bit of magenta goes a long way. There is the fresh freesia in here, but that just, whoo, that's really girly. So you can make your shaving cream as white and marbly as you like, or if you want it really bold, sometimes that comes in handy. This one is a bit bold. This has two colors in it. This has Reinkers, Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. This one I was trying to go with the softer, the more blue jade tones. And you can see all the Misty Moonlight in here. So I used Soft Succulent, Misty Moonlight, and just Jade for the Reinkers to make this one. Okay. So let's get started, and I'll bring this back in just a minute, but I want to make this color combination. Again, I'll be using this designer paper, and you could use whatever strips you have. I think all of these are retired, but any strips of designer paper you have that you've just held on to because you like them, and if they kind of go with the water theme, that's perfect for this. So this one, I was trying to make it girly. This one I'm going to make it a little bit more masculine, even though it does have the freesia in it. So with that said, the Reinkers for this project are Night of Navy, Pacific Point, which is a little bit bright, and Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to do a medium intensity. I think this is light intensity, this is light to medium, and that one's a little bit more medium. Just there's a lot of color in there. That's heavy. And you see how kind of smooth with the different colors? I kept on trying to mix it, trying to get the white shaving cream from down underneath, which you'll see what I mean in just a minute, to soften it up. And that's crazy. Okay. So, shaving cream. A place where after you get the shaving cream on to wipe it off. And I think that's all we're going to need. So when you're doing the shaving cream technique, make sure that you use the foam spray creamy shaving cream. Here at home we had the gel, which after you lather it, it becomes cream, shaving cream. That doesn't work. We need this kind. So give it a shake. And I was reading on the can, it says have the can upright, which explains when I was tipping it why it didn't work. So I'm going to hold it upright. Let me see if you can see. And I'm going to just put in enough for the sheet of paper, which is just this big. If you're doing a whole bunch of these, you could fill up the whole tray. Okay, see how much I put in there? And let me see how there's some areas that the shaving cream missed. I'm just going to kind of fill those in. Because when I put the Reinkers on here, I don't want the Reinker drip to go way down to the bottom. Okay, so Reinkers I'm going to do between 2 and 4 drops, little drips. Okay, I'm just going to keep it hopefully less. This is Pacific Point. So Tony went to Trader Joe's and he got these chocolate covered espresso beans. And after lunch we were having a few of them. It's like, yeah, those are really, actually they're really good. But guess what? Now when I'm doing stuff, my hands are all shaky. Gosh, I hope I could sleep tonight. They're good. I think I might not do it again, but they're good. Okay, so I have my drips in here. Can't tell one from another. So now you just kind of swirl it. So do you see the pattern? The pattern happening? Ooh, there's a dark spot. And if you want it to be whiter, keep in mind that down underneath, the shaving cream is still all white. So if I were to put the paper in it right now, that would be really dark and a bit distracting. So I'm going to keep on kind of mixing it because I want it a little bit softer than that. Maybe I'll take some of this because down under there it's white. Okay, that's good. It's kind of a shame I'm going to do only one piece. So let me get my paper. So here's my paper, and it's just plain Whisper White. And working with these other ones, I'd suggest that once you put it into the shaving cream, pull it out. You don't have to go really fast, but don't just let it sit there. Because when I was doing some of these other ones, I did, and it kind of made the paper start dissolving a little, which isn't good. So put it in here, and you're like, oh no, it's not going to hit over there. But if you just smush so you see it coming out the side, that means you got coverage. And that's all that's to it. And if possible, try to avoid getting the shaving cream on the back side of the card because it doesn't, adhesive doesn't stick very well. Okay, so now when I flip this over, you're like, well, that doesn't look like what the card looks like because it's all going one direction. But once you push this off, look at that. It's a little darker than I planned. If I had to do it again, I'd probably do it lighter. But you never know. And who knows, sometimes when you do things that you don't exactly think you like, they end up looking really good. Okay, so this, I could gather all that back into there. See how it's white underneath? And do another round, like a whole bunch of versions. But we're doing only one card today. Okay. Got to get clean. And I do, many times I use gloves because I don't like getting ink underneath my fingers. Like right there. Okay. So I'm going to set this off to the side to dry. And the paper, when it's wet, it'll curl up. When it dries, it'll start to flatten out. So I'll set that over to the side for just a minute. And we could work on the rest of the card. Okay, so I'll put the paper size that I cut all these on my blog, and my blog is JilliBling.com. So this paper is for the words. And for the words, I want to do the banner like this. I think that's adorable how it came out. And see how he's holding it? He's so cute. So how about this one be a birthday card? Oh, and the stamp sets, Awesome Otters, Sunny Sentiments, Many Messages, and the dies are Tasteful Labels and Layering Circles. Okay, so use Memento because that's what I have out to do the coloring. It's birthday time. We'll be using all this stuff. So the dies, let's use this one. It's birthday time for the banner. Okay. And these pieces, let's use the layering circles. So the dark one, which I was thinking kind of matches otter fur hair. That's in soft suede. And then the whisper white or the basic white for the plain circle. So those are here. And use a blending brush. So on all of these, see how there's a hint of color behind the otter? Same with this one and this one. Let's do that in balmy blue. So here's balmy blue. And it's okay if it's like heavy in spots because the otter will cover up a lot. We just want a little bit around the outside of the otter, and then leave some of the outside of the circle balmy blue. Okay. Those are the samples. We'll be doing something like this. Then this piece, this is a new embossing folder, Stripes and Splatters. It's a 2-pack. And this is a splatter, which is perfect for otters. Okay. So we could stick those pieces on. Let's do that. And might as well get adhesive on the white circle. Probably should have stamped it first. So this is the splatter paper that I'll put right here at the edge. And then the designer paper right here on this edge. Okay, and this is going to, the otter will hold this. You know, let's stamp this part. How about with the one that's holding up the sign? This one right here. So I'll stamp that in Memento. And it's okay if some of the otter, like his tail, goes off the edge, because I'm going to stamp them on separate paper, color them with the blends, and cut them out. And there he is. But before we put him on, we'll put the sign on him. So this will go right about here. So when placing the sign, I had the sign perfectly lined up with his hands, and then when I put it on, I realized, oh, this hand is lower than that hand. So the sign is kind of crooked, but that's cute. So maybe this one we'll try to make it straight. Maybe. And then there, in this set, there's this little birthday hat. So I have one of those colored, and that could go right here. Okay, let's see how the shaving cream paper is doing. It's still, I could tell it's still wet, but I think we could work with it. So from Sunny Sentiments, there is a birthday. Hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. So I'm thinking that could be stamped on here. It's still kind of wet. You know what? If you're in a hurry, I'd say just let it sit while you do the rest of the card, but I'm going to put my heat tool to it. Well, that helped a lot. It was funny how the paper was bending depending on which side I was heating. Okay, so for the birthday, here's a stamp. And just beware it doesn't stamp the best on shaving cream paper. Let's test it. Okay, that looks good. And I'm thinking on here, where is it white so that you can see through? There isn't much white. Oh, and another thing is where so if this guy is here, I'm going to put the words right in the middle because I want them to cover up. Okay, so that's okay. And the places that it came out not so good, we'll use a black blend to fill it in. For instance, see right down here on the G on things, it's a little bit splotchy. We'll use a blend to fill that in. Okay, and let's put another little otter, because each of these have an otter on the inside and on the outside. This one has quite a few down here, but you could see it when it closed. So if you like that, you could do that. But that takes more coloring. That's coloring 2 of them. So how about the water otter, maybe right here. Should I have it be seen? Okay, maybe hiding. It's really cute though. Okay, so before I put this in, I'm going to apply just a little bit of color. This is navy to the water only, and I have an otter stamped and cut out so that the otter won't be marbly blue. And I'll have close-up pictures of all of these in case you're going to do the project and you want to have ideas close up. Okay, so that's looking good. So I'm going to put the otter on here. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue just because the Stampin' Seal and most adhesives, they don't like to stick to the shaving cream. Okay, and then I have a little hat ready for him. I might put that on dimensionals. I know dimensionals shouldn't go on the inside, but oop, that's too big. Ready for a birthday. Okay, so this piece is going to go into here, and I'm going to use again liquid glue just because the Stampin' Seal, it lifts wherever there is the shaving cream, so that means it wouldn't attach right there. I'm trying to get it close to the edge because the shaving cream paper tends to want to curl up. Even if it has just a little bit of space to curl up, it's ready to do that. Okay. And you might have to trim the paper. It should be the exact same size, but And it takes just a minute to attach. Okay, so while this is attaching, I'm going to put a little bit of weight on it. Just hold it down. Okay, everything will go on there. Okay, it's drying. So back to this bit. So to make the little banner, how about linen thread? And so I have a way to make it easy. Tie a little knot right here at this end. And that will be about here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be about, and it's okay if it's a little bit bigger than planned, because all the excess will be hiding underneath Otter. Okay, so there is a piece of linen thread with 2 knots on it. I'm going to make this tail about equal to the other one. And I'll tell you how long that is. That is, with the knots on it, it's 3 3/4. But that's definitely bigger than what I need. So to do the sign, let's do liquid glue. And I want a knot right there. And the string can go here. Knot, string. And just set this in place. And let it start to stick. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, because these ends, that's all that I'm worried about right now. I'm not worried about this string. Okay. And I won't attach him yet because we need to get the banner on him. So we'll put his hat on. Let's see how this is doing over here. Oh, that's good. Good and flat. A little curvy there. I'll put weight on it again. You could try your stamping seal. It might work a little bit better. Okay, so remember how I mentioned if it doesn't stamp exactly perfect? Take your marker, your black light, and I like to use black light because the black dark is really dark, and the black light just fills in any of the little white gaps. And it just makes it look a little bit better. If ever you have a bold stamp, like when we were doing the, what was that? The puffins, the party puffins. I did a lot of this, just filling it in. There. Oops. Went outside the line. Okay, so this is looking good. We could put this piece on. So I'll have it go. Oh, and then what about a ribbon? I was thinking this. The other ones I used twine, twine, ribbon. So because this is a boy one, we probably shouldn't do a fancy bow. So I'm just going to do a knot. Okay, there's a knot. This can go here. Right there. Okay, so to attach that, I'll get regular dimensionals. And these dimensionals are all that's holding the layered circle on. So I'll put probably more than I normally would for the circle, the otter to go onto. So right about there. Okay, so let's work with the sign just a little bit more. So at this point, the knots, let me make sure you can see that, the knots are attached with glue. This part is a little bit loose. This I'm not worried about what that is yet. There's another knot. So on Otter, I'm going to cut little slits. Can you see how far down I cut the slit? So just a little past the stamped line art. Now do that the same on both sides. And I'll put dimensionals on the back of the sign. And I'm going to put them in the middle. Okay, I said on this one I try to keep it straight up and down. So if he goes here, because the other one, the sign is crooked. So I'll put it just like that. Okay, so remember how this part, it doesn't matter how big it is? I'll show you why. Because this we're going to tuck into the little slit. And I'll hold this close up just a minute. So see how the linen thread is in that one little slit? Okay, it's in the slit. Oops. The other one got loose. Okay, let's work with one at a time. So that one is in the slit. So on the back, I'll attach it. Okay, so that's held in place. Now, we'll do the other one again. Okay, that one's in place. So attach it with a dimensional. Okay, so both of them, he's holding it. So now I'll put dimensionals all over on the back here. I need some big ones. Okay, so he will sit down. You know, I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue here. I could have put a dimensional there, but I kind of like his tail going down flat. It looks like it's kind of curving back behind him. So, good, good. And Otter is holding the sign, and it's crooked again. I'll just pretend like I planned that. Trim these ends up a bit. Put his party hat on. Oops, I put a dimensional underneath the ball, and that's going to be floating. Okay, so there it is. Boy birthday card. That's really cute. Shaving cream. A lot of fun. Well, thank you for tuning in. I'll put all the products used on my blog, which is JilliBling.com, and I'll have pictures and the paper cut sizes. Have a great day. Thanks.